foresight. It's still the Ridley Hill RSL, but the vision and the foresight that was led by their board and what they've been able to develop here, I think is incredibly exciting to have a venue of this standing, this capability. I think Guy was giving it a good check out today, and it really is of an international standard. And to have the world's greatest acts, including our own amongst those, being able to come here and perform, I think is just tremendous for Western Sydney, Melissa, and we're very excited about its future. This venue was not built for 6 months, it was built for 50 years. And it will see great acts return. It will see great crowds fill these seats behind us. And that's principally why we're here today. But before I go to that, I want to say a couple of things. Firstly, about the heartbreaking announcements today by Qantas. 6,000 employees who have been working with Qantas for a long time will no longer have a place at Qantas because of the impacts of the COVID-19 recession. Many of those will be in my own electorate in Cook in southern Sydney, as they will be in many parts of our city. And this will be a hard few months. These are hard days, Australia. They're very hard days. And our strength and our togetherness is tested on almost a daily basis, and Australians continue to prove themselves strong. But we're going to really need to call on that strength in the months ahead, and certainly to all of the Qantas family who will be hurting badly today. I extend my deepest regrets about what has had to be announced today. Thing about Qantas employees is they're passionate about the company they work for and the business they're in, and they understand ultimately that when you can't put planes in the air, then the business can't make money. And I know that they will understand that, but it won't make it any easier. And so I had a very good discussion last night with Alan Joyce, as he referred to today, and we'll certainly be continuing to do everything we currently are doing, whether it's in Qantas or indeed in Virgin and other parts of the aviation sector. But as I've said many times, there will be parts of our economy that will feel the effects of the COVID recession for much longer. And that is true here in the entertainment industry and the media and the arts sector as well. So I reach out to those Qantas employees, not just those who obviously will be no longer with the company. We'll be there to support them through the many other programs and to assist them as they look for new opportunities in other parts of the economy as the Australian economy builds back. And we had the news obviously today with the IMF pointing out once again that, relatively speaking, that Australia, even though we have these terrible job losses, is making its way better than almost any other developed economy in the world. And that's where the hope comes from, because the hope says that we're on our way back. And as hard as these days are, there are better days ahead. And we're here to talk about better days ahead for the entertainment and the media and the arts sector. We have already acted, and the sector has already significantly benefited from programs like JobKeeper, and from those who weren't 90% of employees in the sector pool worked in businesses that were eligible for JobKeeper arrangements, subject to the turnover and other tests that were there. That's been an enormous support to the sector until now, and in the consultations we've had as recently as last week, which Dan and Guy joined us for, that has been an important part of keeping people in this sector. And we met some of them here today. The capability of our entertainment business is significant, as you can see on display here, not just the physical venues, but the people who make the show, whether it's on stage or off stage. It's incredibly important. One of the things we've been focusing on in this sector is understanding the business of entertainment, the business of performing arts. And whether it's Guy or others, they're great performers, they're incredible talents. We all know that, but they're great business people. And they take big risks. They run businesses that employ people, and they feel the responsibility of that like any other business leader in Australia today. And this sector has had their businesses taken away from them overnight. Businesses like staging that we were just talking to before have had to adapt, and that's the process they've been going through. But what we're announcing today is having done the initial support to help people through, to cushion that blow, to keep the sector together, to provide support to other parts of the sector that is providing relief. Now it's about the way back. Now it's about ensuring that we can get the show back on the road and the workers back into the jobs. The thing I love about this sector is the passion about this sector. When Mark Vincent was on the call the other day, he just said, "I just want to sing again, PM." And I want him to sing again too, and so does my mum, by the way. And he's passionate about getting back on the stage. But he's also passionate, as Guy and Dan and all the other industry leaders we spoke to, they're passionate about getting the shows back on because they know what that's going to mean. So today we're announcing $250 million of additional support into the sector, which is all about getting the show back on the road and the workers back in the jobs, doing what they love doing. And that has several components to it. There is a $35 million component which goes to supports arts businesses and organisations which are at risk of going into insolvency. There is a further combined package of concessional loans which will be done through the banks, 100% guaranteed by the Commonwealth Government, some $90 million, and some $75 million in direct grants to support getting productions back up and running. This is about building back. This is not just about providing ongoing support. This is about getting the show back up and running. And there is technical issues that need to be dealt with, and this falls more into the screen side, but it's also been raised in the performing arts side, about getting key person insurance and things of that nature, which is essential to actually getting the productions running again. And so these are issues that have been raised by the sector. We've listened carefully to the issues that they've raised. They've written to us about these things. Paul, I want to commend you for the great work you've done in listening. There's been a lot of listening going on. And the key thing that I think has been important for us to really get a full appreciation of is the serious business of entertainment and the hundreds of thousands of jobs that are here. And we want to keep that capability together. Those jobs will come back into those businesses when the shows start again. And we need to keep them. We need to keep the show together when it comes to the people who make that up. The highly technical skills that go into this, the commercial experience of putting productions together and drawing for every production a completely often different new team of different businesses and people who come together. And so keeping that team together is incredibly important, and that's what this support is about today. We've been careful about it, we've thought long and hard about it, we've listened to people. I've personally consulted, as Paul has, to many, as has Josh Frydenberg, and I think what we've come up today reflects, I think, a very strong response that I hope that will give all those in the sector, particularly those who put their houses on the line to put shows on, a great vote of confidence from our government that we believe in what they're doing, and we can't wait for them to sing and perform again. And I'm looking forward to coming back here and checking out your show, Guy.